What's up, baseball world, and welcome along to another edition of Jay's Talk with Jay. Blue Jays fans, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Jays win 6-2, and they are starting already to look dominant. We thought they were good against the Yankees. Now, look, don't get me wrong. First of all, this Tigers team, and I know already in the previous podcast I said we were playing the Tigers, and I knew we were playing Texas, because let's face it, every Blue Jays fan hates the Rangers. So first of all, apologies for that. Not sure what I was thinking. Must be the time difference. Speaking of time difference is totally screwing up my podcast ideas at the moment. Game today is on at 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get one recorded straight after the game, unless of course I don't sleep, which is not possible because I do have a job and I do work, so I'll have to try and figure that out. But anyway, I digress. Blue Jays against Texas. It was very, very impressive. I think all round was very impressive. I keep talking about the intensity from the guys at the moment, and taken from the two wins in New York, along with what we just saw yesterday, I have to say I'm hugely impressed, and it seems like a lot of the pundits are impressed as well. Speaking on Dodgy Talk on the Fan, and what they were saying on TV, plus what I've read on Twitter, like it seems to be that the Jays are definitely going in the right direction this season, and it looks like it's going to be very interesting. Stephen Matz, what can you say? It looks like with Ryu, Matz, and from what we saw from TJ Zoik over on Sunday, I think that Nate Pearson holds the key, because if obviously Nate Pearson comes back in to that rotation, and then you've got Ryu, Pearson, Zoik, Matz, that's four very, very good starters. Who knows what's going to happen with Rourke or Rourke? I don't know why you guys over in Canada like to just pronounce your names anything. Talking of names, the Texas Rangers starting pitcher, I can have a go at trying to pronounce his name. 40 New Itch. I'm pretty sure that's not it. Big shout out to the guy over on Instagram that actually phonetically spelt it out to me, which I, off the top of my head, can't remember what it was. Fortnite, New It. Like, seriously, we could do a whole podcast just on me trying to pronounce this guy's name. It's not happening. He's great. If you like the opposition to score loads of runs, like the guy, I felt sorry for him at times. He couldn't get it together. Like we seemed just honed in straight away, and like from the first inning, it looked like this guy was going to be in trouble. I'm surprised he actually stayed in the game as long as he did. By the time they pulled him, it was kind of game over already, as far as I was concerned. But we looked good, man. Like you watch this Jays team, and like we all remember the teams from like 15 and 16 where we had the starting pitching and was kind of like there, but we knew offensively when we had Bautista, Encarnacion. Russell Martin was hitting home runs as well. All these players were kind of like the power hitters. Obviously, Donaldson was in there. You look back at them teams and you thought, at any point, these guys can score. However, I felt with the teams from 15 and 16, it was only five or six players that could hit the ball and would hit it hard and hit home runs and extra base hits. You look at this team that we've got now, and literally from top to bottom, every single player could hit. All right, Kirk hasn't hit, Davis hasn't hit, and I feel gutted for Davis because like it was good to see him start, and he got. By the way, I called that. Yeah, remember I called that before anyone else was thinking about it. Davis and Tellez, they didn't get any hits, and obviously people will talk about Tellez in a bit, but you think that throughout that lineup from top to bottom, if it was our top starters, and include Springer in there leading off, Man, that's some power, and that's not only some power, but there's some hitting prowess there where you've got to think to yourself, man, we can score a lot of runs this year. Like, we really could score a lot of runs, and there was a few opportunities that we didn't take advantage of yesterday, which meant the score would have been even higher. But overall, I think that when you look at what we've got at the moment, like, it's game one against a very, very poor. I thought Baltimore sucked, but like, this Texas team, and I couldn't wish it on a better team, if I'm honest. They're really bad. I say that, and they'll probably go and beat us tonight. Now, I'll have no idea because I'll be asleep. Because, like I said, it's going to be on at 1 o'clock in the morning. Stephen Matz, amazing. Probably could have come out and done another inning, but he's lights out. And if he pitches like that for the rest of the season, that's 15 wins, possibly 15 wins. Look, I don't want to be that guy that, like, you lot are sitting there watching this guy going, he's the guy from the UK and he's getting carried away because he's never seen this before. Trust me, I've seen a lot of Jay's teams. I've seen some good ones and I've seen some really bad ones. I think it's safe to say this team's a good team. And if the players can show that, and Mats isn't going to pitch like that every game, I get it. But if he can pitch anywhere near that, then it gives us a chance. We know the bullpen is strong. Rafael Dollis, again, name change, Canadian name change. I'm not too sure what's happening with him. They were talking about him having back spasms, and whether that's got something to do with him not being able to locate properly, we'll have to wait and see. But they threw him in. They obviously thought, well, this is a good chance to get him in there. We're miles ahead. That even if they do start to catch us, we can throw some of the other arms in. But there's something not quite right with him. Tellez can't hit for toffee. I'd fancy my chances, and as you can see, I'm a big guy. Tellez is struggling. They said something interesting on the Fan last night. They were talking, and they were saying that Grichuk would possibly end up playing right field. So if Grichuk's playing right field, Springer's centre, Lord is playing left, that gives us Teoscar at DH. Now, if that's the case, bearing in mind you cannot fault Randall Grichuk at the moment, if that's the case, that's some mad lineup when you've got someone like Tellez sitting on a bench. Just imagine you've got, like Jansen starts, you've got Tellez and Kirk, along with Panic, sitting on the bench just waiting if we need someone to pinch hit. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. One swing of the bat, home runs. Like literally the two of them. Panic, still not sure, but he can get hits. He can take walks. Like, so it's interesting. I think we're strong. I think we're a lot stronger than we actually thought we were before the season started. And now that the season has started, it shows that we're there. Props to Charlie again. I'll keep props. Like, he kept Dollis in there. Like, it would have been easy to just take him out and throw Romano in. I know Romano was warming up in the bullpen, and I think a lot of people are going to be annoyed that they got him to the point where he probably won't be able to play tonight. But it is what it is. I'd rather we had that and we've taken the win, and maybe someone else can come in and show us that they've got just as good an arm. Be interesting to see what happens tonight. Like, you've got to think offensively we're good. So let's just see how Rourke does. We've got tonight's game and then tomorrow, and then obviously it's the Angels. The Angels coming to us. The Angels are going to be a test. My word, I think that they'll be a bigger test than what the Yankees were, and then we're going to really see where we are. But like how can you not be excited? Like, seriously, they've won 3 games out of 4, And you can't ask for much more than that. We're not going to win 162 games, even though I put that on Instagram. I was joking. For the people that thought I was being, that's what I really thought, you're going to have to get used to my sense of humour. They're not going to win 162 games. But I tell you what, if they can start, if they can pick up the wins like they have now, win tonight. If we win tonight and we sweep the series, which is a huge possibility, this Jays team is going to be reckoned with. I think people at the moment still unsure, but against the Angels, let's see what happens against the Angels, and then we'll see if people start talking. And I'll quickly touch on the chemistry between these guys as well. And I don't know if anyone noticed it yesterday. Obviously, you would have all seen the picture of Bo sitting with Vladdy with his arm around him, which I think is cool. Man, everyone loves a bromance, don't they? So like it's cool. But Springer's only been there a few weeks, right? And I don't know if you noticed, but like all of a sudden, they're all around this guy, and he's not even playing yet. Imagine what happens when he starts playing and he starts hitting. Like, I think these guys really look up to him already. And if he starts to perform from the off, man, I'm not saying that there's anything untoward here, but like, they're all close already. I don't think it's even possible to get any closer. They all seem to be really and I think that's something, like, I think we had. In 15-16, there was a lot of egos. I think we've all read about it, and we all know about like one or two of the players. Look, and I love all of the guys that played back then. But when you look at these guys, like they all look, man, they've got each other's backs, and it doesn't look like there's any ego in there. It doesn't look. It looks like all of them. And when you say all, like every single one of them, they are joined, and I think that's going to be huge this season. Like. Props to Atkins and Shapiro. Like, you can't knock what they've done, and they've got these guys together, and then they've brought in Simeon, and they've brought in Springer. Like, Simeon at the moment, like, I don't know about you, but I think he's a steal now. Like, for the money that they're paying him, like if the guy carries on like this, he's going to hit 40 homers. Again, I'm joking, all right? Like, just chill, would ya? I'm just saying, like, but he looks like he can, and he looks like he wants to be hitting at the top of the order. We originally thought that it would be Biggio second, Bo third, but if Simeon keeps hitting like this, the top of our order is going to probably look like Springer, Simeon, Guerrero at this rate. Like I don't think anyone would have predicted that at the beginning of the season. But even better, if it stays in Springer just goes in top, and you've got someone like Simeon hitting 7th, man, watch out, AL East. That's all I can say. Look, I'm going to keep this one short today because, quite frankly, the game finished at like midnight, and I'm tired, and I want to try and at least catch some of the game later tonight. Don't forget, as always, hit socials up. I think we're going to have our first guest this weekend. It's been penciled in, and hopefully we're going to get, hopefully when you see one, you're going to enjoy it so much you're all going to want to get involved. But I need you guys to hit me up, yeah? So it doesn't matter where you are, where you're from, doesn't matter if you're male or female, whether you're pink or blue, I don't care if you're 152 or you're 5 years old. I want you on Jay's Talk, because you know why? We can all make this a thing, yeah. And here's the best thing about it. Once the Blue Jays start to make waves like they've started already, everyone is gonna want to know about this team. And where's best to come from? The fans, because the fans speak the truth. Trust me, when we're shit, I will say this shit. But when we're good, like we are at the minute, hey man, we're good. Don't forget, hit up the socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all these places. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow, ding that bell. Spotify, like, follow. I don't even know what you do on Spotify or Apple. Do you follow? Do you subscribe? Whatever it is. But whatever it is, however you consume this podcast, make sure you do it. Spread the word, people, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.